never thought words could save me. For years, I was just moving through life, breathing, existing, but not really living. Then one night, I started to write, and everything changed. Welcome to Phoenix Fortis, where stories of resilience, hope, and redemption take flight. I'm your host, Diane. Tonight's letter comes from Cory, who knows what it feels like to walk through life with the weight of depression, to go through the days without spark, without purpose. But in the middle of that darkness, Cory discovered something unexpected: writing. What began as a single late-night story posted online became more than just words. It became a lifeline. And over time, it revealed something even greater: healing and a rediscovered sense of purpose. This is Cory's story. Dear Diane, for a long time, I felt like I was just existing. Wake up, go to work, come home, heat up something simple for dinner, flip on the TV, not because I cared what was on, but because the silence was too loud. Then bed, then do it all over again. Life had gotten quiet in a way I wasn't prepared for. My kids were grown and out building their own lives. My marriage had ended years ago. I'd tried dating again, but my last relationship had fallen apart. And a few months back, I lost my dog, my best companion through all of it. The house felt hollow. Empty frames on the wall, an unused leash by the door. The hum of the fridge was sometimes the loudest sound in the house. Too much space for one person to fill. I wasn't miserable exactly, but I wasn't living either. Just moving through the days, one after another, with nothing on the horizon. One night, just passing time, I was scrolling through Reddit. Someone had posted a funny meme, and buried in the comments was this offhand line: "Someone should write the backstory to this." For reasons I still can't explain, that stuck with me. It felt like a challenge. So I opened a blank page and started typing. An hour later, I had this little story. Nothing serious, nothing polished, just something fun. I posted it, laughed at myself, and shut the laptop, sure that was the end of it. The next morning, I logged in and saw notifications. People had read it. Some were laughing. Others were asking for more. One even said, "You should keep writing." That tiny bit of encouragement, it lit something in me I hadn't felt in years. So I wrote again and again. Pretty soon, I found myself creating short stories regularly. At first, not for the internet, not even really for the readers, but for me. Because for the first time in a long time, I had an outlet that felt alive. And somewhere along the way, I realized something important. While I was writing to entertain others, I was actually healing myself. Every story let me pour out some of what I'd been carrying, and the connections reminded me I wasn't as alone as I thought. Now, I've started a small social media page for my stories. It's not big. Most days, only a handful of people see what I write. But that doesn't discourage me, because I'm not doing this for numbers or attention. I'm doing it for connection, for meaning. There's already enough negativity out there, enough noise and division. I just want to create a little corner of the internet that feels different. A place where someone can pause, take a breath, and leave with a little more hope than they came with. And I believe, truly believe, that someday a stranger will stumble across one of my stories. Maybe they'll be scrolling late at night, carrying their own quiet heaviness. And maybe, just maybe, something I wrote will remind them they're not alone. They don't have to struggle alone. That they matter. That's why I keep going. I used to wonder if I had a purpose. Now I know. I was meant to tell stories. I was meant to create hope with my words. And for that, I'm grateful. Because writing didn't just give me a hobby, it gave me my life back. It gave me purpose. Sincerely, Cory. What a powerful reminder from Cory. That healing doesn't always come from the places we expect. Sometimes it comes from picking up a pen, opening a blank page, or pressing post on a words we never thought anyone would read. Creativity, whether it's writing, music, painting, or even cooking, has this incredible way of reaching inside us and bringing out the parts we've kept hidden. And when we share those parts, something remarkable happens. People see themselves in our stories. They recognize their own struggles. And in that recognition, connection is born. I'll be honest with you. What Cory is doing through his stories is exactly what I'm doing here through Phoenix Fortis. Week after week, I sit down to read these letters, not because I think they'll go viral, not because I'm chasing numbers, but because I believe in the power of a single story. That one listener somewhere out there might hear it at just the right moment and realize they're not alone. Healing is rarely a straight line. Sometimes it's as simple as finding an outlet, something that allows us to speak when we can't quite say the words out loud. And often, the story we thought we were telling just for ourselves turns out to be the story someone else desperately needed to hear. If Cory's letter resonated with you, if it reminded you that healing can come from the most unexpected places, we would be honored to hear your story. Because Phoenix Fortis isn't just about the letters we share, it's about the community we're building, one story at a time. And while you're here, don't forget to like this episode, subscribe, and leave a comment. Not just to help the channel grow, but because your words might be the encouragement someone else needs to see today. So, here's my challenge to you this week. Share a story. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just something real. You never know who might stumble across it and how deeply they might need it. To everyone listening tonight, listen close. I'm talking to you. If you've ever felt like life has lost its color, if the days have started to blend together, if the silence feels heavier than it should, maybe it's time to try something new. Write a story, paint a picture, share a song. Not because it has to be perfect, but because expression itself is healing. And if you've found healing in an unexpected way, we'd love to hear about it. Share your story with us by email or leave a comment below. You never know who your words might reach. Here's the hard truth. If you keep waiting for life to magically feel different, it won't. Healing doesn't just arrive on your doorstep. It begins when you take that first small step. And I know that step isn't easy. It's scary. It's uncomfortable. It feels like your voice is too small, your effort too fragile, your story too ordinary. But it doesn't have to be a leap. It doesn't have to be perfect. Healing begins in the smallest, most imperfect acts, like jotting down a thought, sketching a line, humming a melody, or pressing post on a story you weren't sure anyone would read. That's the beauty of it. The first step may feel heavy, but it's lighter than carrying the silence. To Cory, thank you for reminding us of the power of words and the purpose that can be found in sharing them. Your work might seem small some days, like it's going unnoticed, but just know this. Your work matters. You matter. Keep doing what you're doing, because this world can never have too many stories of healing, hope, and redemption. And in truth, Cory's path is a lot like mine. What he is doing with his stories is the very heartbeat of Phoenix Fortis. Week after week, we walk this road together, sharing stories not for fame or numbers, but for connection, for that one person who might need to hear it. Because that's the quiet mission behind all of this, to remind someone out there that they're not invisible, that they're not alone. And maybe that's the same reminder you needed tonight too. This has been Phoenix Fortis, where stories of resilience, hope, and redemption take flight. I'm Diane, and we'll be back soon with another story of healing that arrives when we least expect it. Until then, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And if you ever feel like you're just moving through the motions, remember this. Sometimes the smallest spark can light the way forward, and sometimes telling your story is the first step to finding yourself again. If you'd like more reflections from Diane's hard truths, be sure to check out our Phoenix Fortis shorts, brief moments of insight for the days you need them most. And as always, keep rising.